I can't imagine what winning a championship in the NBA feels like, but I can imagine that winning a championship in the NBA has to hit different when you've been through what Klay Thompson has been through. According to sportscasting, only 11% of NBA players have ever won a championship. That's a fraction of the already small amount of players that have ever played an NBA game, period. As of February 2021, there were only 4,374 players that have played at least one game. Now, nobody probably needed to hear this, but making the NBA isn't exactly a walk in the park. Now take everything that I just said and imagine how Klay Thompson has to feel, defying the odds a number of times. Klay Thompson has been through 2 injuries that have had the ability to alter careers in unnerving ways. I'm no longer the biggest what-if guy, but if Klay Thompson never tears his ACL in Game 6, and KD doesn't rush back from his calf strain to later tear his Achilles, who knows how today's NBA looks. With no injuries, the narratives, the storylines, the roster moves, it could all be so different. I'm not even trying to allude to the fact that the Warriors were competing for yet another championship that year. Klay tearing his Achilles in November of 2020 would compound everything. Klay's injury would help change the outlook of the Golden State Warriors coming season. Klay said that the Achilles tear was harder to accept than the ACL tear. He said, "It was hard, man, I can't even lie to you. It was really hard, especially the second time around. The first time I accepted it. Championship game, 5 straight finals, stuff happens. The second time was so unexpected. It was a week before the season. I was training so hard for like a year and a half actually. It sucked. It was like the darkest days of my life. It's because I love basketball so much. It's my source, really, just like the ocean. Basketball has been my source since I was a child. That was a big test of my mental health. I learned a lot about how to stay healthy through my rehabs. If there was a silver lining, that was it. Eye-opening words from one of the greatest shooters to ever play the game of basketball. As somebody that tore their Achilles last year, Klay Thompson is a major inspiration to me. Injuries definitely suck, but sometimes they really do help to put things into perspective. Steve Kerr is widely regarded as overrated for walking into one of the best situations in basketball. But I honestly think we've reached a point where he's a bit underrated and some of his moves don't get enough credit. When Poole was lighting the league on fire and Klay returned, there were a lot of people calling for Klay to be benched in favor of Poole. Kerr vowed to ride with Klay forever, started him immediately, and stayed the course despite any of Klay's struggles.
I'm going to go Michael Jordan, and I won't play for another coach besides Steve. That won't even feel right.
I love it. Yeah.
Throughout Klay's struggles, Klay would remain resilient. Klay's resilience wouldn't only be rewarded by him returning to bolster an already formidable Warriors attack. It would also be rewarded by the Golden State Warriors winning a championship that, might I add, had a ton of savageness along the way. And even after the chip. I feel like just yesterday, everybody was complaining about super teams and AAU basketball ruining the game because everybody was teaming up and being friendly. As a former AAU player, AAU for sure has its share of issues, but teaming up isn't exactly one of them to me. Yeah, guys, I'm sure Kevin Durant joined the Golden State Warriors to win a championship because of AAU basketball. It had nothing to do with all of the criticism or even his own wants. Which, by the way, who wouldn't want to play with Steph freaking Curry? But yeah, it was none of those things. It was AAU basketball. Speaking of championship, let's get back to talking about the Golden State Warriors winning their 4th championship in the past 7 years or so. In the process of doing this, the Golden State Warriors would hear it from the Memphis Grizzlies. Apparently, Dylan Brooks of the Memphis Grizzlies proclaimed that the Golden State Warriors were getting old, and that they know that we're going to come every single year. We're young and they're old, so they know that we're coming every single year. This isn't parody at all. Apparently, Dylan Brooks actually said this. Steph Curry would hear about what Brooks said, and he would respond with, "He said a lot of crazy things. He called himself a dynasty already. So you've got to go figure. On to the next round. Western Conference Finals. We're back. Let's go." Guys, I've got a lot of respect for Dillon Brooks' game as an evolving two-way player who has shown the ability to slow down some very good scorers in the NBA. He's actually somebody that I was really high on coming out of college. I thought he was drafted too low. I respect Dillon Brooks' game a disgusting amount. Good basketball player. But calling yourself or the Memphis Grizzlies core a dynasty at this point in time is completely unfair, as is acting like the Warriors have no future outside of Curry, Klay, or Dre. To be honest with you guys, I'm still in disbelief that this Golden State Warriors team didn't have to destructively go win now mode to win another championship. Not because they weren't talented enough or anything like that, but because they still have a ton of young talent. James Wiseman, the number 2 pick from a few years ago, didn't even log a minute in the playoffs. And this is a guy that was drawing comparisons to Anthony Davis pre-draft. There are a lot of people really low on James Wiseman right now. I'm going to double down. If you've been following my channel for a while, you know that I like James Wiseman pre-draft. I'm going to double down and I'm going to say that if he gets healthy, I think that he will be an all-star. Anyways, it's safe to say that the Golden State Warriors don't take lightly to being disrespected. And I don't blame them. Their body of work speaks for itself. And it's freaking basketball at the end of the day. Have some fun with it as long as no low blows are being thrown. After winning the championship a few days ago, Klay Thompson had one of the most savage press conferences that I had seen in a long time.
And strength in numbers is alive and well. I can't wait. There was this one player on the Grizzlies who tweeted strength in numbers after they beat us in the regular season, and it pissed me off so much. I can't wait to retweet that thing. Freaking bum. I had to watch that. I'm just like, this freaking clown. Okay. Sorry. That memory just popped up. You're gonna mock us? Like, you ain't ever been there before, bro. We've been there. We know what it takes. So to be here again, hold that.
We'll do a last couple for Klay. Mark Spears, back right.
Twitter fingers. Can you believe it?
Mark in the back right.
Klay,
I got a memory like an elephant. I don't forget. And there was a lot of people kicking us when we were down.
where did we eat breakfast when I interviewed you for the first time?
What's that? Oh, man, I forgot, but it was right by Broadway. I forgot the name, but I remember it was downtown Oakland. And I don't think you could guess I'll be here for a 4th time, Mark. You'd probably be like, heck no. What? To be here again? This is incredible.
Apparently, after a regular season win, Jaren Jackson Jr. tweeted strength in numbers as a friendly jab at the Golden State Warriors, but Klay Thompson wasn't having any of that. Do we think that Klay's response here was over the line or maybe a bit too savage? I've honestly been a little surprised with all the stuff I've been seeing lately. Definitely take a moment out and subscribe now if you haven't already, because you won't want to miss any of it. Even Draymond ended up getting in on this whole situation after Ja Morant inserted himself via Twitter, saying that the Memphis Grizzlies got a lot of real estate in the Golden State Warriors' head. Draymond replied to this saying that we traded that real estate. The property value was higher in Boston. The convo went on, but to be real with you guys, all I could think about was that video of Steph hitting yet another 3 and pointing to his finger. I give props to Ja for trying to stand up for his teammates, but sometimes it's just best to let things go. You know, let your play on the floor do the talking, but then again, the disrespect kind of went beyond basketball. I mean, getting called a bum, at that point you're calling somebody out of their name when they just tweeted out your slogan. But I guess when you really think about it, their beef is a lot deeper than what I've mentioned in this video. Let me know what you guys think of everything down in the comments below. Clicking the video on the screen right now is a great way to support my channel. I'm GETLIKECOOP bringing you guys the scoop until our next upload.